Ray Haycraft here with Fuel the Scene magazine, and I am here at the world-famous Milestone in Charlotte, North Carolina with A Light Divided on their Mid-Atlantic tour. Starting with Doug, for those who are unfamiliar, please introduce yourselves and what you play in A Light Divided.
Hi, I'm Doug. I play guitar.
I'm Mike. I play bass.
I'm Adam. I play drums.
I'm JC. I'm the vocalist and front wench.
I'm Colt. I play guitar.
Sorry, start over.
Now, this is your 9th tour as a band.
I'll put it like that.
Which is extremely impressive, especially for a regional band to be able to do that over your lifetime. And you all started in 2009, so that's quite a few tours in a relatively short amount of time. So what is the tour life like for you all, and how do you put the focus on that as a band?
I think it's kind of cliche, but I always think that tour is the best of times, the worst of times. You know, you go through a bunch of stuff where you're just miserable and annoyed with the people you're with, but at the same time, I absolutely would love to do it even more than we're already doing it. Like, it's 5 of my best friends all in the same place for weeks at a time. And I don't know about them, but
Well, I mean, there's a whole lot of downtime on tour when you're traveling. So it's boring for long stretches, and then all of a sudden it's this big flurry of activity for 3 or 4 hours when you play, and then back to boring. So it's definitely it's a challenge.
It's not as glamorous as people make it out to be. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. You get to do what you love, but at the same time, driving 12 hours kind of sucks.
It does, but I mean, like, we absolutely love it, and I play drums, and I don't.
He doesn't usually handle
I don't
a
use
microphone,
microphones.
folks.
should be able to. You meet a lot of cool people. You get to see a lot of really cool new bands that you maybe wouldn't have had the opportunity to check out otherwise. You make some really great friends doing it. You have a lot of laughs. I'd come back like with I wish were 6-pack abs from laughing so hard. Definitely sore cheeks.
Well, I don't think this is saying too much about what our next album's going to be, but pretty much I think all the songs are going to be titled after some sort of tour story.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, just an inside joke that we've had over the various tours that we've had. So they'll seem like random song titles, but they really do have a deeper meaning to all of us.
And then you can come ask us what the story's about, and we'll tell you.
Exactly.
But I can tell you, Long Live the Champs, our band's named Champ. So
And she's tried to die more than once.
yeah, so we must keep hoping that it stays alive, and that's why the song's called what the song's called. Duct tape and bubble gum, people.
Now, are these stories perhaps ones that you'll share with the fans in more detail?
Probably, depending on if there's children involved, and probably not. But I do think it would be a fun way to kind of let the crowd get to know us a little bit more between sets by sort of telling what the song title's about. You saw a cat? Yeah. Aw, Mew Mew.
What are some of your favorite memories from being on the road for those of you who have been on a tour in this band before?
Oh.
Or in general?
Yeah, Mike, you should hide because all of my favorite tour stories involve you. My favorite one is definitely when you pooped yourself in the van.
Oh, that's not what I expect you to say.
Really?
My favorite ones were it was really hot in the van, and we had to crash at a Walmart parking lot in the van because we're broke. We don't have money for hotel rooms, and nobody wanted to put us up. So anyway, so Mike was hot, and he decided it'd be a good idea to sleep outside the van, and so he's outside in a sleeping bag, and I think he woke up because the manager of Walmart was poking him with a stick because he thought he was a dead body.
Two managers.
I'm not entirely sure. They were wrong about him being a dead body.
So spoiler, one of the songs will definitely be called There's a Dead Body in the Walmart Parking Lot.
That's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
Mike, what about your story? What would stick out to you if you had to look back on tour memories?
Obviously, being considered a dead body was a funny one. These guys like to make fun of me for a drunk incident in Jacksonville, Florida. I thought the trees were really entertaining. My bad.
He speaks with periods between each word. So he's like, look at the trees. We're like, what?
I was doing my
he
best.
just points to his liquor bottle and starts shaking his head.
Yes, I shit myself. It happens.
You also shat in a garbage can because you didn't want to wait for
I
other
got
people
one.
to get out of the
I got
bathroom.
one. I got one. So we were going down the road, and for whatever reason we couldn't stop. So we installed a blanket as a divider, and JC definitely peed in a Gatorade bottle. Like that happened. Like I was behind the curtain, like couldn't see what was happening. I don't know how she did it, but she did it.
I've peed in more Sheets cups, Gatorade bottles on the side of the van in a weird old on the side of the van.
She's a little ratchet, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no bathrooms. I'm glad we've had this time together.
So this tour is going to end with you all starting work on your next album. What can you tell us? I know it's full of secrets and there's not a lot we can know thus far, but what can you tell us about the concept, what to expect, what fans can get ready for?
I'm going to keep it kind of short and sweet because, like I said, I don't want to give too much away because it's still very much in the works and I don't want to say something that doesn't end up being on there. But basically, when we wrote Mirrors, that was about figuring out who we are and just learning to be okay with that. And the next record is basically what comes next. And, okay, now we know who we are. Now this is what we do, essentially. And you can elaborate on it a little bit more if you'd like.
No, I mean I think that's pretty piffy.
Piffy.
And one song has already been completed and released, and that is Long Live the Champ, which premiered about a week ago at this point. Something like that. So other
I'm pretty sure it just
than
went live on Spotify today. So
oh, did it?
Somebody told me that. I'm like, I didn't even know. Cool. Yay.
So other than the title and corresponding with the van and stories, what can you tell us about the lyrical inspiration for Champ?
Like I said, as a band, especially one that's been together as long as we have, at some point, you just have to figure out if you're content with what you're doing now or if you really just want to go balls to the wall and push yourself for everything that you've got. And that's basically what Long Live the Champ is about. This band has always been about pushing ourselves harder and further, and Long Live the Champ is basically our commitment to making that decision. Like, we're going to go on the road, we're going to stay on the road, and we're not going to come home until we do the damn thing, until somebody notices. Like, why won't you love me? Like,
Mom.
yeah.
Well, I think there's the lyrics in the bridge with the gang vocal part that really kind of sum it up to me, which are
Through every setback we face, we keep the faith. This band has been through so many setbacks, so many member changes, just every possible little thing that life could have thrown on us, and we always just say, okay, that sucks, but we find a way to get through it. And we always have do or die. We always find a way to make it happen. Everybody's always got a dream that they want and that they strive for, but you know, I know that it's hard to just throw caution to the wind and just do it, just make that leap, because it's scary. It really is. And you mean the uncertainty of, you know, knowing that you could come home with your tail between your legs, essentially, it's not fun. It's a shitty experience.
yeah. I mean, this is our 9th tour, and I mean we still get the pre-tour jitters. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
every time.
am I still gonna have this job when I come home? You know, am I gonna be able to pay my mortgage or my car payment or whatever when I get done touring for 2 weeks? So it's always a constant struggle. So we're hopefully making steps to get away from that.
We're at a point now where we know that we could lose our jobs, but we're like, so what? You can get another job. You only have one shot to do this. I mean,
We kind of had to design our lives around it. So that's sort of been growing pains.
yeah, balls to the wall always.
So another point on tour before we move on. For this tour, you have a special guest that's joining you. Would you
right.
like to?
we
Would
do.
you like to introduce him and say a little bit
Come
about
here,
that?
Greg.
Don't be shy.
This is Greg. He's kind enough to help us out by playing guitar for us on this tour. He had about 2 weeks to learn 10 songs?
11 songs.
11 songs.
He knows.
11 songs. I don't even know the names of most of our songs.
Me neither.
So Greg's in a band called,
Arbor Lee.
and you should go check him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah, we're a hardcore band here from Charlotte, and yeah, we just love music. Love you guys.
Love you
It's
too,
gonna be
buddy.
fun.
Appreciate you.
Oh, he also just got married, and we're still in him 4 days after his wedding. So, go, Greg.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Kind of like a honeymoon.
His wife said
Your wife
his
said
wife
no.
said it was okay.
She's like, I got this honeymoon.
We checked with her first.
What advice would you all give to bands that want to, in theory, tour, but haven't yet, or aren't sure if they can?
That's funny because I've spent a lot of time picking the brains of various other touring bands that we've had the opportunity to share the stage with, and they all tell me the same thing. And they're like, there's never a good time to do it.
It's
You
like
just
Nike,
have to
just
go.
do it.
Yeah, you just have to pick up and do it. Like, you might get your ass handed to you, but I mean, even if you do, you learn something from it, and that makes the next tour better because you know what not to do, or something new that you could try to potentially make it even better. But yeah, just fucking do it. Just do it.
That's it. Just take the plunge. I mean, you
Clarissa.
learn your lessons.
I'm so old.
And do things
even know what Clarissa
do things
is.
the right way. Take care of the other bands that you're working with. Take care of the venues you're working with, and don't get caught up in the drama and the bullshit. Like, handle your business. That's the most important thing. Your reputation will follow you everywhere you go, through every town and every city, and the industry talks. So make sure you keep your nose clean.
Yep. Just don't be an asshole. That's it. It's easy. That's simple. Don't be an asshole. Try not to be an asshole.